Hi everyone, I'm your host, Nathan, the founder of Leaders of the Future podcast. Today we have the wonderful Alexandria O'Bard, whom is a current public health master's student at Cal State Long Beach University. If you could just say a few more words or a little description of yourself, that'd be great.
Hi everyone, I'm Alexandria O'Bard, and thank you Nathan for having me on your podcast. I'm so lucky to have you as a friend, and then for you to see me as a leader, to even bring me on your podcast. But like you said, I am a master's student getting my master's in public health at Cal State Long Beach. I'm also an officer within the California Army National Guard, and additionally I am also a fellow for the City of Long Beach Public Service Corps. Yeah.
Of course, I've known you for several years and I thought it was the right choice to bring you on. So, I just want to ask you, what is your current status in the public health field?
So, I am currently taking a few classes at Cal State Long Beach. I have been for a year and a half now on public health courses and specifically on health education curriculum. And then I've also taken half of my upper curriculum classes in my undergraduate on just public health classes. So when it comes to education, I'm definitely growing. However, with my experiences in the field, that is still intermediate to even introductory. However, I am definitely growing within that field because of my current fellowship, which I am so honored to have, is with the City of Long Beach Public Service Corps, and I currently work underneath their health department with their subsection being Public Health Emergency Management Team. So far, I've already been networking, and I've also been able to meet new people to show me the ropes within the public health field, and also just to see how the City of Long Beach is currently has their organization within public health emergencies.
That's amazing. Nice, thank you so much for going in depth about that. I understand you're taking a lot of courses. However, I just wanted to know, what's been your most enjoyable course so far?
So that's a great question. My most enjoyable course is actually from this semester. I'm taking HSC 508, which is Public Health Policy and Advocacy.
Oh, so interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about what public health policy is?
Sure. So public health policy is pretty much coming up with plans, decisions, and action making for governments or organizations to help the public with public good and public health. So this is usually coming up with decision making and plans for big outbreaks that might go on, such as COVID-19 or with respiratory diseases.
How does your current knowledge of public health policy and leadership compare to what you knew before you took the course?
That's a great question. So I learned quite a bit in this class, but one of my main takeaways was how big networking is and also teamwork. And that is huge within creating policies, because you need to understand that working within public health, you are working for the public. So with that, it's never one-minded, it's for multiple people. So having more than one brain working on one thing creates a stronger policy, and it's just fundamentally moving on to helping the whole community. What I also took away was how the United States is just built differently with our public health system too, and how we also have for policies, we use all three of our governmental categories. We have executive, we also have legislative, and also judicial, which have their own parts within public health that you would never think, but politics has started to leak into public health more and more. So that's another thing I learned. And then lastly, additionally to that, I learned that how important cohesion and teamwork is. That's one of the main takeaways, and as a leader, seeing this, how far it goes with policy making. I really thought this class was going to be more on writing and just individualized, but it's definitely cohesion.
Is there any topic that you specifically have been interested in so far within public health?
So I have been becoming more interested within politics and the thin line that politics and health policy is now having, at least with the United States. So I have been leaning towards being an advocate and knowing how advocacy plays a part within health policy and politics, and even just recently seeing how the effects of politics and health policy has done within the Roe versus Wade being revoked in 2022, also known as Dobbs versus the Jackson Women's Health Organization, how the pros and cons of that policy just affected all across America.
What have you learned from that public health policy course?
What I've learned is that America functions very differently within the healthcare system and also the healthcare insurance policies. And it has its own legalities to it that is very difficult to sometimes understand too. And there is no other country like America with our healthcare system and with our health insurance. So unveiling all of that, I saw some takeaways, both pros and cons, and it was very eye-opening.
Being a leader, what were one of the new attributes you were actually able to develop?
My strongest attribute I was able to develop was actually my communication within a group setting, especially when there was any group conflict. I was able to have self-control and communicate, which is huge and one of my most rewarding competencies I was able to grow upon.
So, what do you have to do with your knowledge in public health policy?
I am an innovative thinker, and I pay close attention to detail, especially among those that identify with being a minority and minority groups. So there's that, and additionally, I would utilize my skills with collaboration and my leadership skills. So eventually I would be able to work my way up to being a program manager for hopefully minorities and utilizing my collaboration and networking capabilities to help with networking for the program, writing policies and grants to help with my program's objectives.
Awesome. How do you envision your career path within the next 2 years?
I envision myself being a leader in no matter what route I go. I just haven't been able to solidify that yet. Just with time I'll see. But as of now, in the next 2 years, I see myself more likely working for a government job, hopefully for a small city or even a county. So a small city like the city of Long Beach underneath their Department of Health. And then for the county, hopefully like San Diego or Orange County for their Department of Public Health. That would be one of my goals to reach. I would like to start as a program coordinator, but I understand if I would have to build my way up first as a outreach specialist.
And also, what about the next 5 to 10 years after that?
So in the next 5 to 10 years, then I can see myself working my way up to eventually being a program manager. And being a program manager for a program that specializes with serving minority groups, for helping decrease disparities and then increasing health equity, and also possibly being a program manager for a service member or veteran group as well, specifically working with homelessness or with mental health. And down the route, eventually, I have also thought about continuing my service within the military, but not with the National Guard, but instead USPHS, which is the United States Public Health Service Corps. This would be being a service member officer that works underneath the general surgeon. So that would be a huge goal, hopefully working underneath the general surgeon along the way and helping create policies in America, helping come up with solutions for health equity and program planning.
That's amazing. As a leader in your field, how do you feel like you'll make a difference?
So I see myself as a dynamic individual that brings multiple things. I have my military background with having strategic, logistical, and operational planning behind me. And then additionally, I also bring the multiple facets of being a minority and having cultural awareness, where I know I can be a representative for both minority groups and those that aren't usually heard, and then also be the woman that can advocate for all of them and also for women.
Those are some great big aspirations, and I really wish you well on your journey. That's unfortunately all the time that we have right now, but thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nathan. I appreciate it.
Of course. Bye. Thank you for now. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Bye, guys.